Another thing that I haven't always sort of used for systematic reviews, but have started to do more and more lately, is Ulrichsweb. And this is a database of journals. In here, what I want to do is search for those specific journals. So I'll go back to my American Journal of Public Health, because I've identified this as an important journal that I want to make sure that I'm including. And so if I go into the listing for this particular journal, okay, that's what I'm looking for, start year, 1911, right? Sometimes I don't necessarily need to go back that far for my systematic review. Sometimes that's helpful to know. You've got the website for that journal here. And then you also have these two tabs down here, online availability and abstracting and indexing. So I'm going to open up this abstracting and indexing, and this is going to tell me what databases does this journal show up in, right? And so I can see Academic Search Complete has it from 1975, right? So if I'm using Academic Search Complete as one of the journals, I know that it's not going to get me anything earlier than 1975, but I also know that the start year is 1911. So if I want to go back earlier than 1975, I'm going to have to go into this journal's website and browse through their back issues, browse through their archives. I'm going to have to find some other way to hand search through that journal because it's not going to be captured in my database search. Another thing to know, and what this doesn't say is, even though it's like 1975 through the present, a lot of times in these databases, there's a little bit of a delay getting articles from that journal into the databases. Sometimes there can be a year up to a year and a half delay on that, depending on the databases, depending on a lot of different factors. And so I would still recommend going to any journal that you identify as an important journal, go ahead and search for the last year, year and a half within that journal, because they may not be showing up in those databases. So those are my Ulrichsweb tips. Hopefully they'll be helpful for you. The reason that I started doing that is because I was working with a couple of scoping reviews where they got a response back from the reviewers saying, hey, you missed these newest articles that probably should have showed up. And it was because they were relying on those databases when not all of those articles from those journals had made it into those databases yet.